Okay, thank you very much for you to coming here. My name is Paolo Martini. I am one of the leaders of Studium Actoris with its base here in Fredrikstad, Norway. And we are here together with our colleagues from Poland and to conclude a project we have been running for 1 year, and project called Next Stop Art Close to People, financed through the EEA-GRANTS between Poland and Norway. And I would like my colleagues to present is Agata. Studium Actoris has been the partner of this project, and Agata and her organization, representing her organization, she has been the leader and the promoter of taking the initiative to start this project. So please present yourself.
Okay, so hello from Poland, so from the Postcard Culture Association and A-Free Theatre. So I'm the manager and coordinator of this project, and I would like to say thank you for my partner, so Studium Actoris partner, and colleague and experts from Poland and from Norway too, because it was the cooperation, like Polish-Norwegian cooperation. So hello. And Beata?
Thank you for invitation. I'm Beata Puka. I'm a journalist and PR officer of this project. So I work in Poland and in Norway and communicate with many institutions and observe this fantastic work together between Polish and Norwegian people from the culture area and the actors. It was fantastic.
Ilona?
I'm glad to be here, and my name is Iwona Włodzimierov, and I'm here from Cultural Association Postcard, and my being here is like connected with the next step, Art Close to Nature study visit, which is in progress, and we will talk a little bit later on about this project.
And Piotr?
Piotr Sterda, I'm forester. Also, we are cooperating with the local society here in HAJNÓWKA, and also maybe a support in the future programs, calling as art closer to the nature.
Yes, but you support us in doing this project too, in the audience and as a musicians too.
Yes,
yeah.
And what Agata said right now is a kind of the core of this project, to include the society around you, around, for example, your organization or our theatre company, to include them in the process of create art, and to participate with what they themselves, with their skills, what they can do. And it's not necessary, they're not necessary to be artists themselves to participate, but they can contribute with other skills. And so I want to ask the first questions.
Yes.
Because now we are speaking in English. I'm originally Italian. We're sitting in Norway. The project is Polish, Norwegian, and we have had since the beginning, maybe since before, challenge where the language maybe has been the less challenging. So we have a kind of little virus which bothered us the last years, which you can imagine had made very difficult exchange between countries. I'm very proud that we, as in opposition and others who has got this grant, we are one of the few which managed to come to this point where they can say, okay, thank you for us. And between all these challenges, what do you think has been the biggest for you? For you and your association and your company, theater company, this is just like one of the goals you have been pursuing for many years. So you have been going through many challenges in this way. But what do you think has been for you the biggest challenge in this?
In this project, so the biggest challenge it was that we was able to do this project, because it was a lot of problems, but we managed and we do this, and actors made the really big hard work, like doing rehearsal online, and after, so the beginning of work was online, so it was hard work, but it was the first step, and the next step was the rehearsal in together in the real and normal style. So for me important was this both kind of work, because I think it was something new what we can to make the problems like for the good solution. So we can focus for the good solution. The other, so of course it's the artwork and final product like the show, and big cooperating between the actors, director and musicians. The super nice thing, it was music which was created specially for this project, and personally for me was super important things that during this project we made a strategy for the HAJNÓWKA Centralna, for our hub art center, and we can this was the big step for the future, because we can to cooperate and thinking about the next step and next cooperation.
So to realize this, getting closer to the people in a local community and the people, maybe even the authorities, which are like observing this and which are like supposed to support. They have supported. Maybe in the future they could think to support this. But one of the goals was to make this approach to these entities, was to create a kind of infrastructure, both physical and also like a philosophical and poetic infrastructure, which resulted in the show dance, or TANCZ, as you say in Poland. So the other infrastructure we are working with, which very important, is this railway station, cultural railway station. Yes, please tell more about
the so in the railway station, so we wanted to create the art hub, so it will be the place open for the local people, for the volunteers, international volunteers, and for the artists, for the art residential too. So it's why we are thinking about the next project and next cooperation. And really we wanted to in HAJNÓWKA Centralna, in the train station, so we want to make position for the art really close to the people. So because we want to close the art in the train station, in the building. We want to open this building for create all different kind of art. Yes,
and as Agata said, we have been experimenting for the first time. I think in our life we have been working with theater for decades, and the first time I had a director sitting on the other part of Europe, watching us starting the first steps. And we knew the Polish musicians, actors were doing the same on their side of Europe, and we, of course, we did it anyhow, but we trusted that they were doing the job as we were doing our part, and then one day we would meet, and finally we met. Then me and the two other Norwegian colleagues, we arrived to a railway station. We arrived by train. First time I've been using boat, flight, and other ways to come to a working space, but the train was original for me. And when I came there, it was a big building, maybe it's even divided in several buildings. I think it's about 3,000 square meters or something like that, which are given you in use for the next 20 years, and to create such institution, such infrastructure. And there was happening a lot of things inside. It was a lot colorful solution for painting the walls and inside and outside. But you had the other solution, so people, for example, not seeing very well or not hearing, they could follow some signals, some paths inside the house.
Yes.
Could you tell more about this physical changing you are doing inside this railway station?
Okay, so this is work in progress, of course, because of the 3,000 squares. Yeah, but we try to do the best. So, for example, we was thinking about the disability people. So, and we wanted to prepare this space for the people like the standard using way and for the disability people. So, for example, so the sign and light system is working now, and make the signal each somebody is inside or want to open the door.
Yes.
And what more? So maybe you have the new view about
I have it. So it was very easy to, if you want to go to the bathroom,
yes.
you could follow the sounds of birds or fishes, or also animals which, like whales, are living in the sea, even if they are not fishes.
Yeah.
So the two, so if you, I would just imagine actor, so I try to imagine, okay, now I am blind, how do I find the nearest toilet? And then, where I am. I know I am in this toilet now, I am in this spot of the house. And then I knew, because it was different sounds in these different toilets, and which I guess is very useful. And passing by with the two, between the two, sometimes I met young children or people from the town, which is a little town, I think 18,000 maybe?
20,000.
20,000. And they were learning a language, English, I heard.
Yes.
And the teachers were not teachers.
No.
Who was the teachers?
So the teachers, this is the young people from the European Solidarity Corps. So so we have not the English teacher or native speakers. So we have the people who learn English, and they use English in the normal daily life. So we wanted to share this style of communication, so to use the English and to make the conversation in English in the super basic, simply way. So like the basic communication, we wanted to open the local young people and children to use this language without the fear that something will go wrong. So everything will go good if we will practice English. So sorry for my English now, but I'm example somebody who doesn't speak English 2 years ago, but now
Yes, I can. I think first time I was with me and Jannike Stensen, which is also the leader of the Maktoris. We were at your place in this wonderful festival. We cannot talk about much about that, but it's a kind of sign of your activities very well. And we had to add a translator.
Yes.
To English because you couldn't speak. You could speak French, but this we were not very. But so I was trying now to tell how many nations were living.
Oh my
People
God.
from
So
that I've been telling, so I can help you. It was young people from Portugal, Spain, New Zealand, Liechtenstein, Poland, Poland of course, France,
Ukraine.
and then Ukraine, yes,
Catalonia, Greece,
yes, of course,
yes,
Yes.
and before was Austria, Croatia. Oh my God! So it was a lot of people from Spain, a lot from Portugal, from.
And this makes very obvious why you need European community money.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, if
we
you
make the mix of culture and mix of nations.
I mean, it was, I guess, to go to the Polish authorities, we want to invite people from New Zealand. Why should we pay for people from New Zealand to come here? I guess this could be.
So from the New Zealand, so it was somebody like guest in our association, so
Yes.
not from Solidarity Corps, but
No.
he really wanted to be in this team.
Yes, exactly. Also, this is an important sign when you set up something.
And
That
now
suddenly
so-
somebody.
I remember, so
Yeah.
he's from Tunisia, Tunis. Yes,
So from very far away. So it's very clear that you are giving and these, if I haven't misunderstood, they were not artist students,
No.
and this also special.
Yes, because this is opportunity for the young people to spend 1 year and to get new skills, not without the art skills. So they can to be artists, can be musicians, but it's not obligatory. They can to. So this is like carte blanche, like opening and possibility to get knowledge and to get the new experience during this time.
Yes, and again, when we were there, of course, we were in a new community. We cannot, me and my colleagues, we cannot speak Polish. We can say just a few words, just to not die of hunger and things like this. And I got at once the impression that the local community is supporting you very much.
Yes, yes.
Which is also, because I've been doing some, in my younger days, we were in a kind of similar situation, and the local communities were rejecting this internationality coming to their little town in the first period. But you looks like I managed to break the code, to communicate with the locals, and to support you in they seeing you like a positive addition to their society. How did you do it?
I don't know, it happens. So they trust us, so the local community trust us that we will do something good for them. So, and they gave us like the one year trust, and now we offered them concerts, shows, activities, events, language cafe for the children, language cafe for the seniors, a lot of workshops like the art workshop, but not only art workshops. So they get the improvement that everything what we promised, we did it. So I think, of course, this is important for us that they trust us, but they was open-minded people too. So because it was something new for them, and I think they know that the new blood, the new action is necessary for the small town to be open, to grow up.
And the town we are talking about is HAJNOWKA, which is nearby the border to White Russia. But you are yourself, you are living even nearer the border to Russia,
Yes,
or
to Białorussia,
in
yes.
a little, in the even more smaller town.
Yes, I
We
live in the
cannot call it
village.
yes, a village.
In the forest,
In the
3
forest.
kilometers from the Białorussia border.
And this forest will be important later on in this conversation because
Yeah.
it's a. But you are not from Police.
No,
And
I'm
not you're not Darek Zibinski,
Yes.
which is the director and one of the founder together with you of your.
Yeah. Both of us, we are from the big cities. So my city takes name Lublin, Darek's city takes name Poznań, and we spent 15 years in Warsaw, in the capital city of Poland, and we bought a small house in the Białowieża forest, and we moved them 50 years ago, and we create the theater and the International Theater Festival, Open Air Festival, and we live there.
Yes, and the house is about 6 meters by 6 meters and two floors, and so this proves that you can start and you realize your dreams with starting from a little point in space.
Yes.
And you, Beata, you are coming also from the big town,
Yeah.
Warsaw.
Yeah.
How you just took the train one day in direction HAJNOWKA?
Sometimes, yes, sometimes.
So what is
yeah.
your connection with the postcard organization, the A3
So I hear about the festival, international festival in the big forest in Europe.
Verte
Festival. So I said, oh my God, theater is my hobby. So why I don't know nothing about this festival? So I go with colleague for first time for Vertep. I met Agata, Darek, and I think that it's almost a fairy tale. It's so fantastic. It's so beautiful. It's so good prepared. It's such a high level of professionalism from the ensemble from all Europe. So because the people, the actors from many countries come to this forest and show fantastic things. So I started to be one of the biggest fan of HAJNÓWKA, CENTRALNA, and Agata and Darek works. So I regularly contact with people, and when it was possible, help a little, because I know also Norway, so I'm ready to do this.
Because you of course coming from Warsaw, you just picked up the most rainful town in Norway. There I'm going to live sometimes partially. So the project started Agata in September, if you
Yes.
last year. Yes. So at a certain point you
20.
yes.
2020.
Yes, 2020.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, it's not 2020. Yes. And at a certain point, Agata called you and said, "Could you help us with point?"
No, I must tell that I talked with our colleague that maybe I will do something interesting now. And Agata called to my colleague and said, I need some person which help us with the information work, PR and so. And my colleague said, yes, I know this person, she is near me. And we start work together. So we work with the Polish and Norwegian media, so newspapers, also the press agencies, the radio. We inform that this project start, that what will happen, and so. We write also on Facebook. It was a big work, and many people know about this project and answer. So they come also for the shows in Poland, in Warszawa, in HAJNÓWKA, and also in Fredrikstad. So I think that it was a good job, but I was also with you and you work. So, and I must tell shortly about this, because I'm very impressed how the Norwegian actors and the Polish actors and the Polish musicians fantastic cooperate. How big energy was when they meet after the pandemic time, when they work, how they reason, so how they work with the director Darek Skibinski. It was for me as audience. So it was a very big experience, and chapeau bas. I'm very impressed how you work and how effects was. So I mean the show was really fantastic. And I made the interview with you, with Darek. So we, I know that for both of you, HAJNÓWKA Centralna is the special place on the map of the theater in Europe. So you said that Grotowski, so also work in the not big city, yes, and that Pina Bausch also work in not the special place, but they have fantastic effects. And you think that HAJNÓWKA Centralna will be also the very important place on the east of Europe, not only in Poland, for actors, for other people in our culture.
And you, when finally we gathered together in HAJNÓWKA Centralna in already was August or September.
What?
21.
21 this time. So this project took some time because thank you to Corona. Then you made an interview with me and with Darek and different others, and then I want you to make a question to me now. What?
Yeah. So I want to know what do you think about these 2 years? Was this cooperation important for you? And so you say that it was important, but one in details. So I mean, so it was difficult to work with people from other culture, from in this pandemic time. Was it important to do it for you? When you will back to the 2019, will you do the same project or not?
First, we have to say that we have been Studium Actoris, our company, was contacted by suggestion of some common friends. We were contacted by Agata, by A3 Theater, if we wanted to participate in a remake of a show we had done previously with amateur of pupils, and which were young, and maybe some of them inexperienced, and they wanted to have was nice because they wanted to have old people, so old actor remake it with older actor with other experience. And this, I think it was in 2012 or 13. And that started our relationship with the A3 Theatre and the theatre company they represent. And then we invited each other shows to Norway, and we have been participated several times, invited to that festival, which is the name of this festival that the association is organizing. So for us, this was just one more step. So in that period, we started to trust each other as artists, and we have been inviting them because what they're doing is unique and high quality. And this was the first collaboration, and we have made several tries. She, especially Agatha, I think she, especially in the beginning, she made several versions of the application, which was not like, also that was a kind of process of learning. So I think when in the end she sent the obviously the right application, maybe with the help of some friends or consulants to make it like more important, then that for her was a process of, okay, how I make myself understood, how I make something which is very intimate. I would like to reach this point of communication with my local society, and to translate this for, I need money, and that's why you should give me money. It was a learning process. And since then has been a long learning process. We got a lot of surprises. The virus, new virus, and the changing of rules about this money, these grants. There's been some administrative changing, making it's always like changes are taken to make things better, but it's not all good what is coming out of changes. And so something was more complicated, and this we didn't know, we realized after a while, and at a certain point you start to think after a couple of years, I'm not sure if I'm doing the same steps once again, and in the end I think it's also when you wait for a child, or you are looking to this moment like with terror, and then you almost don't remember you felt pain or you was difficult, because you see what the worth of it, you know. And then when we arrived to the last part, where I finally met my colleagues and them as artists on the floor, this is an easy piece of the whole process, because we knew all the artists working in this physical theater and the musicians working with this kind of theater, they know that there is not, what we are doing is universal, both for the audience and for the people participating. So I didn't have any doubt that this was going to just inspire each other. Yes. So I would like not only not to do it, but would like to do it once again. Let's see what the future brings. And of course, when you learn a lot of things, so you learn to to, I'm not sure we have made mistakes. It was mostly we were surprised sometimes of the requests.
Yeah, but we finally we always was able to find a good solution.
Yes, and something was a surprise which also was not there because of the nature of the project, but like because of for example, of the COVID, we at a certain point to get artists from abroad to Norway, we had to apply because Norwegian border was closed to everybody. But you could somehow import the workers from abroad which were indispensable. Of course, the more indispensable were like nurses and doctors and so on and so on. But after a while, they understood that this was a big crisis for the nutrition industry, like restaurant and whatever, and for artists. So they opened this possibility for important artists, like the director. You cannot like just change director, you know, or if you have a special actor with special skills. So then we had to send application, but not to Minister of Culture, but to the Minister of the Transport on sea, on the sea. Which was a big surprise for us. After living 33 years in Norway, we had to apply to the Department of the Sea of the state. But there is a logic, of course, because they used to have like to ship international workers around across the borders and the seas with a lot of disease, so on and so on, you know. And that went, because we are in Norway probably, that went like this. We get a yes after a few hours. But it was very strange. It wasn't this strange thing, a surprise. This is a surprise, okay.
Oh, I don't know about this episode.
No.
This is interesting. And I have one question. So when the project starts, so we talk much about the Chopin, so the Chopin music, that this is the big inspiration and so. And we hear the fragments of the Chopin music in the fantastic music show during the TANGZ dance. But could you tell us why Chopin and tango? Why it was possible to do?
Yeah. Of course, director could answer with a lot of good words and many
Long story.
Yeah, long story.
about that. But let's see, the short story is that the inspiration come from this human humus, human underground, populating all the town all over the world, of common people, being normally mechanics, work in industry, work in the making food products and so on in their daily life. And sometimes this kind of works not always can make their dream be lived fully through. Somebody's very happy with that, somebody else wish something different or more, let's say. And then music and dance places as offered traditionally all over the world the possibility during the evening when the work is over or during holidays to express other kind of personality of one person for others. I guess it must be billions of women and men who has met each other on the dance floor, or to make like an example of this situation, Direct wanted to take this milonga milieu, which is like the places where the tango lovers, people loving tango in Argentina, but as they pointed out, originally the tango is from Switzerland, yes, and all this atmosphere, the transformation, how the mechanic becomes the most beautiful and well-dressed man on the dancing floor, and all this in relationship being born in this small, often smoke-filled local, with local musicians performing hours after hours tango, for example, in the case of, and then of course this is he was then some others artists as take this as inspiration, among others Italian director which make a movie called Ballando Ballando with no words, a major movie going in the cinema with no words and only music, and filming this, they were actors of course, but filming this, reproducing this atmosphere. And that's what I think, I haven't seen the show because I'm inside it, so, but for me it sounds like it's about these relationships.
Yeah, it is true. I have seen 2 times and it is true.
And we have to learn a little bit of tango, and the director wish to make this universal thing, and in the end of the show also the audience come and dance with us. And it's always, and this is nice because it's the atmosphere which creates, then it's exactly atmosphere creating in this balera or milonga. Everybody's a bit embarrassed. Should I go? What happened? Should I go and dance? I cannot dance. My God, I never danced tango in my life. And so the one taking the first step, and because daring or because being pushed. It's not. I remember I was a young boy. We were pushed from the friends. Go invite her. Go invite her. And all this, and this happens in the end of the show. And it's very embarrassing for me, and which cannot dance tango, to invite somebody, because maybe the person I pick up for the audience, she's like a master in tango because she come to see a performance called dance, so she expects me just to be wonderful ballerina or dancer. And but I think they get the thrill to be audience. It's in other places because this performance started like in a very sweet and calm way, and as most in our life ends in a kind of tragedy, which unfortunately a lot of people are experiencing every day. I don't want to say more. And all this comes out from a project from the European community. And I mean, you have been applying before to Polish authorities to create your own shows, and you probably get the money and things like this. But I think this kind of support gives the possibility to have a bigger view.
Yes, definitely. And I think I would like to add something. So because you asked me before, so what was the most important for me? So I think the most important for me it's the part of the what we put in the title of this project. Next step, next step two, next step to other things. So this next step, it was the next step to the audience, to the art in close to the people, to make the art more Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
I'm so sorry. So to make this art close to the disability people, to the people in the prison. So a lot of steps, and they make us closer to something. So this
Because,
is also
yeah,
important.
for example, the first, we could say it's something called the pre-premiere. Okay,
Yeah.
in Norway you say the urpremiere happened in a kind of railway station in HAJNÅWKA,
Yes.
which was not your railway
Yes,
station,
not ours, not all.
and was sent on Facebook just for people in jail to see
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Uh,
it was for them the big, not surprise, the big nagroda.
Event?
Prize. Yes, for the good behavior. So they,
Okay.
so it was not for everybody. It was for the good
ones.
Good ones. Yeah. But I can imagine these people watching dance. What happened so in this show. So I'm really curious their opinion. So, but I couldn't ask them.
And then, as I gathered, it was very good. The show had the premiere to a quite big mine festival in Warsaw,
Yeah.
important, that existed for many years, and there was very good reviews, positive reviews from
Very good.
the press, from the fagpress, and from the critics of the press. And we're talking about the next step. Are we right
Yes.
there? Yes. And then Ivona.
Finally.
Ivona. The next step, you are the director of the library of the town in Poland, nearby HAJNÓWKA, and you have been collaborating with them with the postcard organization in other occasions.
Yes.
And now also you received a call by Agata. This is just in my imagination how thing happens. She calls like the minister of prime minister of a country. Would you like to participate in my government? But would you like to contribute? And then you saw the chance to get out of the library and to go out to where? In nature. So what's the next step?
Yeah,
about?
it was on the contrary.
Yes.
Because when I heard that this association is preparing to this to develop to provide this this project, I was Norway. Oh, I'm so interested. But okay, it was already like project was made and it was just in the beginning. So I said, okay, so how can I collaborate? Yeah? What can we do? And it appeared that we can have some another project connected with Norway and in Poland, and connected to this one, because as we mentioned before, just in the beginning when we talked that because of this project, it's been written a strategy for HAJNÓWKA CENTRALNA for this place. Yeah, okay, so people trust us, yeah, local people trust us, as we said here, and they expect something from us. They expect good quality workshops. They expect some, attractive exhibitions, art, I don't know, they need some art, something what's happening, what attracts people. And then, okay, we have to provide it. How to do this? And the best way is the best method. And I agree with education program is to be here, just to have some job shadowing experience, to see how other companies do their work, have their network, how do they looking for some funds for, so generally speaking, we are here to get some inspiration for our future projects. For this, what can we provide for, and of course as well, it develops ourselves to make something interesting in HAJNÓWKA CENTRALNA. So that's the point.
And so this particular project is called now Next Step Art Close to People Study Visit. Exactly what you're
Art
talking about.
close to nature.
Art close to, sorry,
Nature,
Next
based.
Step Art Close to Nature.
Study visit, yeah.
And study visit, so which include this kind of goal you have
Yeah.
been describing now. And no, you have been here for 3 days
Yes,
now, by
yes.
now, and I got a lot of fresh air.
Yes, we did.
Because we have got twice in the forest, and one of the forests today was special, somehow a special forest, the most north kind of that forest in Europe. And before we have been seeing this hut system and how we have been explained, living a little bit, going touring, going in this forest and reaching this hut, this cabin, which Norwegian use as step-by-step experience, going from hut to hut to hut in a longer period of time and many kilometers, and each one choose as much they want, and it's a part of the way of being Norwegian in Norway. And the first day it has been how Studium Actoris, one of these example company, put also the activities together and regarding the all aspect of such activity, both artistical and the financial aspects. But there is a long title before visit, and this is the next step.
Yes.
You have been sending an application,
Yes.
which it probably will not be so big as the first one. Let's see how it develops. Where you are fine, you have also other Norwegian partners,
Yeah.
and what is then the goal of that? How you approach the nature and connect with art? and
Yes,
everything.
so we so of course we want to make the closer art and nature, and we wanted to take the inspiration from nature to the art and from the art to the nature, and we will collaborate with the experts. So, for example, with Piotr, with people who has the big experience with the forest lifestyle. And we want to, I hope we will find the new solution how we can to make the symbiotic way art and nature.
Because Piotr, what is your second name? Your family name?
Beszterda.
Beszterda. You know a couple of things about trees.
Yeah.
Because we have been
Many details.
It's not so security because I spend a lot of time in the forest as a professional forester.
yes, for many
And,
decades.
living together with Darek and Agata, I've now a fantastic time and occasion to look what is actually now around my house, because I live in the same village with the nearest neighbors as Agata and Darek. Paolo, you know that all situation or geographical about geographical situation, HAJNÓWKA is lying just on the corner of the biggest forest in Europe, in the Białowieża forest. And we call in this area that is a gate to Białowieża forest.
It's the biggest, but also maybe the oldest.
And the primal forest. Then that's we have so enough time to explain how fantastic things and fantastic investigations are making that now actually in this area. But from this cultural and level and cultural project which are preparing, and we are preparing together, because I'm also a member of Postcard Association and Policzna. We expect that this kind of project, also especially international project, need more space. The nearest space by HAJNÓWKA is a huge forest.
Mm-hmm.
This is the main goal. And
the forest in different moment in history, it's all the forests in different moment in history has always been like a place which you had to conquer or to defend in some occasion. And I think in these days your forest is kind of in the middle of a contradiction between relationship between human beings.
mm-hmm.
And so will be, I think this project, I just make a prediction, is going to help a lot of this relationship.
Yeah, and in addition that I would like to inform officially that as Society Postcard Association, we have wrote the letter of intent with the National Park of Białowieża, and also 3 forest districts, HAJNÓWKA, Białowieża and Browsk, which are very, very interested to be in cooperation with our project. Call it art closer to the nature.
Agata, this will be the end of our relationship?
No.
No, because we have.
It will be next step to our
Yes,
relationship.
it's the next step. Wonderful, and I just, but don't tell Darek, because then he just take off, because I just imagine next step, art close to stars.
Okay.
Okay. Space, yeah.
Don't tell to Darek.
No, but back to a little bit of dance, because this is not either an end in a relationship, this is just the beginning. Yeah. Now, among the other things among the other tasks you took on your shoulder, at least for a certain period, the task to be an impresario for this dance first performance. And the idea is to make a kind of comeback to the European stage scene.
Yes, because it's not so dance. It's not only project. So this is the real show. So we want to present this show on the international stages.
Yes.
For the long time.
Yes.
Like the way to the sky.
Exactly. Until we will be stars in one or another way. So in the end it will be a solo show. Yes, wonderful. And I think it's nice. I would like to make my own conclusion, because we have a next step, and then we have something, a branch coming out of the project with some leaves, which is the show, continuing. And probably this show is going somehow back to your festival, I guess, even from there. Maybe sometime you are going to perform in the forest, who knows, or on a stage in Germany, or let's see. Because it's no words, all the words are in our intention, what we are doing. Something
No. So I don't want to
wish,
yes.
just as a coordinator of this study visit, next step out closer to nature. I would like to thank you as our host institution for having us here, for taking care of our visit, and that you really did a great, huge job to share your experience, how to organize, how to run the company.
This is the art which we should come and take the name.
Dance, dance, Paolo, dance.
Yeah, and of course that we met because of you. So many nice people in National Park in the back. Yeah, I have to focus on my Norwegian language again, but I don't remember the name of this park today.
Bökskogen in Larvik.
Yes, so every guide who gave us a lecture in this green area was really something was really inspire us. So thanks very, very much. And it's not the end because we haven't finished our adventure.
Exactly.
Yeah, we are in the middle, but
You're very welcome, and you are going on for a couple of days more at least, and before you go back, and you are several meetings there, seeing I think at least one more forest, if I understood.
yes.
And so you get the whole picture of how a nation is doing something and differently or alike and better or worse, and you can compare. That's always a very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to what's the right name of this? To say the EE-GRANTS committee to giving us the money. Yes, and we made it.
Yes, we made it with, and so it's a big thank you for the whole team. So for the actors, musicians, experts, co-workers, PR, everybody who works. So it was not was only 5 persons, it was 10 persons. It was about 24 working in this work.
So it's just to come and see the show, and you meet some of these other persons,
Yeah.
and this is we are going to send this recording to the press. So if both Norwegian and Polish, I guess.
Yes.
And if we want to write something about this,
Yes. And don't hesitate
no.
to call us and to ask us for something.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.